We all know that every country in this world has their own youth community in their country. But at some countries in this world, they still choose their leaders among of the older generation or the baby boomers. As a result of that, they had to bear the failure of the government that they chose. For example, the hyperinflation crisis that happened at Zimbabwe in 2008 when the government print too much money to cover up the country's debt, which is caused more inflation for the country. When we do not feel well on the current government as a citizen of the country, we would like to change them as soon as possible. So the participant of the youth in the government might be the solution for that. So with me, Ahmad Hisham, I would like to persuade you to consider that you should be given the opportunities to become a leaders of the country. In fact, that youth are making differences nowadays more than we know as a activists, leaders in community and development organization, and by their record level of the volunteerism in many parts of the world. So there are many reasons that you should consider that youth should be given the opportunities to become the leaders of the country, which is youth have the tons of the potential to expand the new ideas on the country's development. Next, youth also have a knowledge and creativity on using technology and innovation to create opportunity, and also many countries in this world has started to take a prime minister or the president as young as 35 years old. So now many of you, especially the baby boomers generation, might be skeptical about the youth being a leader in a country because you believe that young generation is unmatured and not have the experience on leading the country. Because of that, I will talk about the first main point, which is youth have a tons of potential to expand the new ideas on the country's development. Firstly, youth have the potential in a leadership is because they can make some decisions quickly and automatically. According to the therapist Marilyn Price Mitchell, she says that youth are very relying on the mental shortcuts on their brain, which have developed over the years to guide them into the best course of action. Plus, youth also understanding strategies such as maximizing versus satisfying, fast versus slow thinking, and also factors such as risk tolerance and choice overload, which can lead them into the better outcomes. Next, youth also can handle and solve their problem themselves. According to Marilyn again, youth tend to learn how to handle their problems in facilitating the problem-solving process with the others family members. Of course, before they jump in, they will need some guidance and role model from their parents. Secondly, youth also have a potential in creating the new ideas. The new ideas is because nowadays there are many efforts that have been made by youth on developing the new ideas in their various form and ways. For example, they use an entertainment as source of the creation at the social media platform like TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. They use this kind of method to attract the audience to give the attention to them. From this kind of effort, it can lead them to be more responsible towards the online community. Next, they also provide the supports to others young content creators to expand their product on social media. For example, the Awesomeness TV network has aims to support the young content creator by offered management and mentoring them on looking to their online brands into the new heights. Another reason you might avoid that the youth in the country's leadership is you worry that young generation will become wild and childish on leading the country. But it will be pleasant to learn that youth is in fact very educated, independent, and have their own vision on their life. So I will talk about the second main point, which is youth have the knowledge and a creativity on using technology and innovation to create the opportunity. So firstly, youth have a knowledge on using the technology is because most of youth in this world know how to use it and can easily access the information to inform and educate themselves. Research show that the things that help young people having a positive experience online is having a good understanding of the internet and how the online media works. Next, they also having a skills to critically understand, analyze, and create content that adds value to them for themselves. Secondly, you have an innovation to create opportunity. For example, the creation of the wearable breast cancer detector, which invented by Julian Reyes Cantu when he was at 17 years old. This innovation is an early and effective detection of breast cancer, which is the aim of EVA and exploration and auto exploration route. Next, the creation of solar rechargeable hearing aids that's cheaper and affordable. In developing countries, less than 3% can afford to buy the hearing aids. So the solar hearing is responding to this need with this innovation. This solar hearing aids is also highly resistant and durable. These hearing aids also empower the solar ears users. Next, some of you might think that youth may cause trouble to the country's future just because some of teenagers has caused chaos at some countries. Now I will prove to you that there are many successful leaders around the world is among of youth. So it will lead me to talk about my third and last point, which is many countries in this world has started to take a prime minister or president as young as 35 years old. Firstly, there are top leaders from Europe, which is become the leaders as young as 35 years old. The first leader is Sanna Marin from Finland, which had become the prime minister of Finland at 35 years old. She was briefed by being the prime minister of the Finland at the difficult time, as Finland was hit by COVID-19 crisis. With the spirit of youth, she managed to handle the crisis brilliantly. This because she was an 85% approval rating for her handling of the crisis from the local paper report. The second young leader is Oleksiy Honcharuk from Ukraine, has become the prime minister of Ukraine at the age of 35 years old. He was being youngest Ukrainians ever prime minister in August 2019. Before that, he was become a deputy head of the President Vladimir Zelensky office in May. He also managed for several years an EU-funded NGO that works to improve business environment in Ukraine. Secondly, there are also top leaders from Asia and Oceania, which is the first is Asia. From Asia is Jigme Khesar Namgyal Wangchuk from Bhutan. Khesar is the fourth dragon king of Bhutan. He took power at the age of 26 years old after his father Jigme Wangchuk abdicated. He studied in United States before he returning to Bhutan. He said that one of the aim of his reign is to strengthen the democracy in his country. Next, the young leader from Oceania is Jacinda Ardern from New Zealand. Ardern, the leaders of the New Zealand Labour Party, become the prime minister in October 2017 at the age of 35 years old. She, since taking over as the leader, she has been applauded for being an outspoken voice against the racism, sexism and racism. She also swiftly banned the military-style semi-automatic and assault rifle after the Christchurch shooting. So I hope that I have convinced you to consider that youth should be given the opportunities to become the leaders of the country. Remember that youth have potential on expanding the new ideas, and youth have a knowledge on using the technology and innovation to create the opportunities. And also many countries have started to take young generation to become their leaders. Now you all can throw away all your thoughts that young generation cannot become a leaders of the countries. To the previous leaders, thank you for your service to the countries. Now you all can relax at your home, and thank you, and also play with your grandchildren. Now it's time for youth to replace your position, and we will become a fresh looking leadership. There's one quote that Yusuf Al-Qaradawi once says that always keep in my mind, which is, if you want to know the successful of the country, look it at their young people.